Hey everybody, Jeremy Slate back with you again with this week's EMA Fast Tracking Webinar. And guys, I am really excited for our guest today because he's actually a guy I've been chasing down for a couple years to be on my podcast. So hopefully we'll get that done at some point in the future. But he is actually one of the top consultants in the world in the energy sector. And he's going to talk about some amazing things with community and PR today. Pat Clouden, thank you so much for hanging out with me.
Oh, thank you for having me. Good to see you.
Absolutely. So for those people that may not have been exposed to you before, Pat, just tell us a little bit about yourself before we get rolling.
Okay. I have a company in Clearwater, Florida. It's called Consumer Energy Solutions. It's one of the top companies of its kind in the United States. We're basically a broker. We broker energy, meaning electricity and natural gas. And basically what we sell is energy futures contracts to small and medium-sized businesses. We've been doing it going on, we're about to enter our 20th year, believe it or not.
Wow.
And, yeah. And we work with some of the largest corporations in the United States. And we're probably 4 out of the top 10 where they're top, what they call channel partners. So we're one of the top companies doing what we do in the U.S. in deregulated markets. There's probably 22 states that are deregulated. And that's mainly where we work in. So, and I also have a company called Accelerated Training Solutions where we build training programs mainly for the WISE Consulting Network and put together a whole curriculum on training people on how to implement the Hubbard Management System.
Very cool. Well, I'm really excited for your topic today, Pat, because I just feel like for so many businesses, like community PR is like a huge thing that they're missing, right? It's like a huge thing that's not there. And I guess before we roll into that, let me ask you, like, how did you discover the secret that this was so important?
Well, it started here locally, where actually what happened was I had a woman working for me, and she got hooked on OxyContin.
Wow.
And single mom, 2 kids. It was a horrible story. And so we did what we had to do business-wise, but then I decided not only to pick up my responsibility within my own company and having people, and that's when we found the Truth About Drugs program and started working with that program and really taking that program as a business person out into the community. So we started getting involved, and the mandate was to find like-minded people, to work with like-minded people, and to take more responsibility basically for our community. That plus I call it kind of the yin and yang. The other part of it, which is exciting, and you'll see this as we do this presentation, is we work with the Community Learning Center, which has tutoring programs. So one of the reasons kids get into drugs is because of lack of being able to see a future. They lose that hope. So you put together the 2 programs, and we do a lot of things with that, which we'll discuss as we go through this. So this was a very kind of like a personal motivation, but also then we've had so much success with what we've done in the area of community public relations. And as I've kind of gone through this, I've learned that if you're a community-based business, let's say you're a dentist or a chiropractor, something like this is vital technology for you. Mm-hmm. And because your ability to basically build more affinity, more reality, and more communication within your community, this is the tool to do that, which is public relations.
I think that's a really great key point, because I think a lot of times people are like kind of building their business like outside of their community, right? Like they're not like just like you saying, they're not having the affinity of reality and communication, not becoming a part of it and making that community actually their group. And I think that's really huge for helping your business expand as well.
Yeah, exactly. If I explain it like this, if you have dentist A, dentist B, dentist A buys say a 20,000 mailing list, and it's mom's. So he's a children's dentist, and he does a mailing out to that 20,000. He'll get a certain response. Now, Dennis B goes into the community and gets totally known for educating young children in the schools with the Drug-Free World program and the Truth About Drugs program, and gets totally known in the community for helping and caring about kids. That guy buys the exact same 20,000 list, does a mailing. Which one do you think is going to get a better response?
Right? The one that's helped the community.
Correct. And especially for the moms, right? So you look at it like that. So you're helping their children. And if you're doing a marketing program, if you understand that concept, you understand the power of public relations. And so if you're in a community-based business, it is vital. This is vital technology to really help, again, build that affinity, reality, communication so that you can actually expand your business, make your marketing work so much better. A good public relations program should actually precede a marketing program. So once you understand that, if you understand that concept, then you can really utilize this to really not only help your business, but actually help the community.
And it's a beautiful thing when your impact can actually help your income. It's a beautiful thing. So yes. Pat, I'll let you take it away here. I'm going to get your presentation up and we will get rolling with this. And let's teach the people some beautiful things today.
Okay, good.
All right, and we've got your slideshow up.
Okay, great. So let's just go to get into this and go right to the third slide there.
All right.
So what is public relations? PR is public relations. So what is it? Public relations is making good works well known. So good works being defined as charitable acts. So if you're doing and actually participating in doing things in your community, but not making them well known, it's not really helping your business from that point of view. So I'll give you an example of this. I actually had a dentist in Colorado who was very involved with the Drug-Free World program, but she didn't tell anybody about it. So she came to a seminar that I did, and we were going over this whole thing, and she realized that she dropped out the part of making it well known. So by doing that, by putting that in, she was actually able to build up and sell that practice for a lot of money. And so it's just this idea, good works made well known. Let's go to the next slide, and I'll give you more reality on this. So this is a slide from a program that we got involved in here in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. And this was put on by the Tampa Bay Business Journal, which is, they recognize the top philanthropic companies in the Tampa Bay area. So basically what you had to do was you took your good works and then you had to make them well known. You basically put them into a format where we sent it into an independent judge. There was probably 350 to 400 entries into this. And every year they picked the top 20 or 21. Now, we had been nominated for the last 5 years, but it was an honor just to be nominated. And the things that we did to get nominated was working with the Drug-Free World program and the Truth About Drugs. And the second thing is the Community Learning Center. And I'll give you more reality on that as we go through this. So in 2017, we actually won this award. We won in the category of, we had 51 to 100 employees. And so that award, you can see there, was sponsored by the Tampa Bay Rays, which is the professional baseball team, the United Way. The event was actually on the baseball field. They actually built a whole presentation ability to do that. And you can see in the background, that corporate thing is the scoreboard, the huge scoreboard. And so that was quite a thing because we got quite a bit of promotion for Drug-Free World. We got quite a bit of promotion for the Truth About Drugs program. We made a lot of friends here. You can imagine that at an event like this, there's close to 300 people that are all involved in the community. And so all of a sudden, people start gravitating to you. These are people already doing things. And then we find and work with like-minded people. We find people that we can help and who would benefit from the programs that we have. And then again, working with like-minded people, making a lot of friends. Let's go to the next slide here.
Did they let you take any batting practice there, Pat? I see you holding the bat there in the middle.
Yeah, no, that would have been ugly. Anyway, so this is another example of programs that we get in to build public relations. This particular one actually helps us with our recruiting quite a bit. And this is done by the Tampa Bay Times here locally, which is the local newspaper. And Consumer Energy Solutions has won the top 100 workplaces in the Tampa Bay area. We won it 5 years in a row. And that we use this in our advertising then, right? So we get involved in this particular one. What they do is they survey. It's an independent survey done of all your employees, and then this independent group picks the top 100 workplaces. So let's go to the next slide here. What this is, it gives you an example. What we just went through is public relations area control, which means using public relations to establish friendly relationships with people in the area, the neighborhood, the city, etc., so that the organization, its people, and activities are very well thought of. So this is an example of how you do that. So we're in the community doing things, having people say, hey, this is a great place. That's obviously a great place to work. This is a place that really helps our recruitment. So it's called PR, Public Relations Area Control. Let's go to the next slide here. Actually, go to the next one, which is essential. So these are basics that we're applying to get to bring about results like this. The most important action to undertake when going about making a safe point is to carefully and painstakingly find out who exactly are the top dogs in the area in financial and political circles and their associates and connections, and to what each one is hostile. So this idea of making a safe point, this would be a person that would say good things about you. That would be, hey, this is a good group. These are good people. So by understanding that, let's go to this next slide here. So we, is this idea of an opinion leader. Now, opinion leader is, another name in the business world for this is an influencer. People who are influencers, an opinion leader. The way to attain a more dominant role in public relations is first to know it well, next to be sure others who should understand it, and then to use it effectively. As it is a subject which is meant to reach masses, remember that it must reach them through opinion leaders. Now let's go to the next slide here. I'm going to give you examples of this. I'm just making sure we're talking about the same thing here. Opinion leaders may or not be VIPs, but they are, whoever they are, barber or king, VIPs to the PR. Thus, surveys for opinion leaders are necessary, and the opinions of opinion leaders must be known. All right, let's go to this next slide here. So there's a gentleman, his name is John Redmond. He's internationally recognized speaker on drug policy issues. He's an expert in drug, handling drugs. He's an executive director for the Community Alliance for Drug-Free Youth, which is a huge national program, actually. He is the director for demand reduction for California's high-intensity drug trafficking areas. He's an ambassador of peace for the United Nations Middle East Initiative. So he actually flies into Vienna every year when the United Nations has a meeting regarding drug and drug policy that's going to affect countries all over the world, right? So the idea, that the point of my putting this in here is this guy obviously is an opinion leader. He's got a lot of people who listen to him. He's got a big base of communication to major people. I was going to give you examples of this. Let's go to the next slide. Here's John. Here's a picture of John. Here's with my director of community relations, Lynn Posiden. And here's a program that we were doing locally where we brought John to town from California. And he was already, as you'll see, really grooved into the drug-free world and the Truth About Drugs programs. And so John came to Clearwater to help us present this program to other people locally in the community. Here, let's go to the next slide. You can see here, there's, in the video on the Truth About Drugs, John is one of the spokespeople on that video. So he also helps us do presentations on drug-free world materials, literally all over the world. So let's go to the next slide, to this next section here. Now, okay, so keep in mind, we got an opinion leader here. So now what I remember my mandate as we got into this whole public relations thing in the community was to find like-minded people, to work with like-minded people. So in the non-existence formula, is 1, find a comm line. 2, make yourself known, discover what is needed and wanted, and do, produce, and or present it. So by having that, now I got an opinion leader. Now I'm going to find like-minded people. So here, go to this next slide here. So this is a group, the gentleman and his wife are the Semblers, right? Mel and Betty Sembler. And they have a group called Drug Free America, which has been around for it's over 20 years now. So this is, because this is from a couple years ago, they gave us this. So imagine now, so these are major opinion leaders that we couldn't get, you want to get into a certain group and you can't get in, and we couldn't click with these people. So, but John Redmond, who I showed you earlier, was a major opinion leader for these people. And John loved us. So then John said, listen, he basically endorsed us, blessed us. So we worked with them. And of course, as they worked with us, they loved us. And then this is an award that they gave. That's my wife, Laura, there. And again, Lynn, my director of community relations. We got this award because we were helping them defeat the marijuana initiative in 2014. 2014. So we worked through the year to help make sure that we didn't legalize marijuana in the state of California, which we helped defeat it in 2014. It did get passed in 2016, but at this time we helped them actually, and this was a big issue for them. And I think it's a big issue for the community. And as you really get into that and understand it, you would understand why. We helped them so much, and they were so happy with us that they gave us they have an annual fundraiser. So imagine this room here that we're in, again, 300-400 people, like-minded people, and Mel Sembler there is has been the top fundraiser for the Republican Party for years. He's a former ambassador under Reagan and to Italy, and really, you talk about somebody with extensive communication lines all over the state of Florida. This man he's amazing. Him and his wife are amazing people. So then they introduced us to a whole bunch of other people, which helped us get more drug-free world materials and Truth About Drug materials into things all over the state. And it was an amazing night. It was actually a lot of fun. And but this was how we brought this about, and it increased our community and our public relations within the community. Here, let's go to the next slide, right? Here's another example of, now this is the We Believe in Me Foundation, which is founded by former Tampa Bay Buccaneer Jerry Wunsch and his fiancee Brenda McCarthy. So Jerry played 9 years in professional football, 7 of them here in the Tampa Bay area. Now imagine this. So what these people, they're amazing people. And so what they do is they find there's kids that get athletic scholarships, but don't have the grades in order to accept those. So you know what happens? Nothing. Those kids never get to go to college. So he set up this group, We Believe in Me, the We Believe in Me Foundation. They go all over the United States. And what they do is they help kids improve their grades so they can accept these scholarships. So we got working with them with the community. Now we got the Community Learning Center and the Drug Free World Center. And we're working with kids here locally that we've helped dozens of these kids through the tutoring programs and the study technology of L. Ron Hubbard to help them get into college, to actually be able to raise their grades, fix their ability to read, and then teach them how to study. And we've had great success with that program. So you can see here, and then of course, part of the education of kids is drug education. So you can see how the Drug Free World and the Community Learning Center go together, and we can help these kids get into college. This has been a big success. And so then, here, go to this next one here. So there's a picture of Jerry wants his number 71 there. So then we had Leonard Johnson, who at the time, for 4 years, actually played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But what's interesting about this story is Leonard, when he was a young kid, probably 12 years old, he was a great athlete, obviously made it to the National Football League, but he couldn't study. He had a lot of trouble in the course room. His mother was looking for a solution. So the solution was the Community Learning Center. So he went into the Community Learning Center as a young man. Laura and I have been connected to the Community Learning Center for over 20 years. And so Leonard actually went in and they, again, fixed his ability to read and teach him how to study. Leonard went to Largo High School, star football player, got a scholarship to Iowa State, was a free agent, made it with the Bucs, played 4 years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And no one knew this story that I just told you. It just happened. And then Leonard coming back we did an event at the Martin Luther King Center, and his mother is very involved in that. And all of a sudden, his mother's telling us that how much she loves the Community Learning Center and how much it helped Leonard and actually helped him get into college, and now he's playing professional football. So Leonard agreed to work. So now we're putting these things together, right? So these are like-minded people. So here, go to the next slide here. So we did a huge event at the Fort Harrison Hotel here in Clearwater, Florida, with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's Leonard. There's a picture of Leonard, nicest young man you ever want to meet. He got star players from the team to come. There's Jerry, and we had a whole bunch of autograph things. We raised some money for Community Learning Center, for We Believe in Me, for and Drug Free World, all of it together. We probably had 600 people at this event. It was amazing. It was an amazing thing. So again, we're making more friends, more like-minded people, and people that we can connect up to and work with in the community to help make a better community. Here, go on to the next one. You can see here you see a picture of the young guy who we helped actually get into college. There's Jerry and Brenda. There's actually two young men there that we actually helped get into college. And there's Leonard talking and telling the story basically that I just told you with his mother. And I always tell him it looks like his sister. She's so young.
I was going to say the same thing, Pat. She looks like she's his age.
Amazing, right? Amazing people. These are great people. And that's the thing about doing community PR. You really get to see the best of a community. You really get to meet the best people in the community. And so this is an example of that. Here, let's go to the next one. So we called it the Buccaneers Breakout for Kids. And so then there's Jerry and with Leonard and Laura and I and my niece Jennifer, and the big Jerry with Stuggy Fresh right there with Leonard and his wife, or excuse me, his mom. And so we had this huge event. It created lots and lots of goodwill. It created lots of goodwill in the community. And it all started putting together, again, going back to that opinion leaders. These are major opinion leaders in the community. So they are now bringing more and more kids to the Community Learning Center. Now we have a program set up with Clearwater Academy, where these kids are actually coming to play high school football at Clearwater Academy, and they're getting kids scholarships. It's been one of these really cool stories, But this is an application of those things that I went over earlier. So let's go to this next one here. So this is the co-founder of We Believe in Me. This is Brenda McCarthy, and Juan Harrow, who received a full ride scholarship with the help of the Community Learning Center and We Believe in Me. In 1 year, they helped students get full rides into the University of Buffalo, Alcorn State, Presbyterian College, Oregon State, Marshall University, Akron University, Bethune-Cookman University, and now it's Pittsburgh, and now it's a whole bunch of them. It's a whole bunch of schools. It's really amazing. And so it's not only is it this obviously is very rewarding, and it really helps. It's a really help the community flow. Now you can see though, but that you take all of this and you get known in your community for doing these types of things, and then you tie that into your marketing campaigns. You can see how that would improve and increase the results that you're going to get from any marketing campaign. So this is like big league stuff. This is big league technology, and I think that if business people really understood this concept and really applied it, especially if you're a community-based business, if you do business within the community, this is the technology that could take you over the top and really help you. And so I'm a big believer in this. I think that this is a great opportunity, and once you understand this, you apply this, you'll get great results. And I think that's the end of that slide there.
Yes, sir.
Presentation.
Very cool. Well, Pat, this has been outstanding. I know just for me, it's generating a lot of ideas of things that, as a business we could be doing. But let me ask you, just as an experience point here, for yourself, what was it like running your business before you were running programs like this, and after you're running programs like this?
Well, that's an interesting question, because it's really come to, for me, this is why I do business anymore. I'm in business, and I stay in business to be able to do these types of things in the community and for the different groups that I support. And it's really been a really interesting shift instead of just doing business for business sake sort of thing. And so I've really grown as a person, as an individual. And my group, one of the things that we do every week is we brief them. We brief the staff on what we're doing in the community and the results of what we're doing in the community. And by doing that, that gives them ownership of it, and they're contributing to it. And it just raises the affinity, reality, and communication for what we're doing as a group and what we stand for and who we are in the community.
Very cool. So I guess let me ask you then, Pat, if I'm a business owner and I'm thinking to myself, I love this, I want to institute something like this, but I'm a small business. Like how am I able to do this? I guess, what would you tell me in that way?
Well, I would first try to get an understanding of what type of business that you're in, because I think that you'd have a different strategy based on what type of business that you're in. But if you get involved, it doesn't really matter how big your business is, because you can always help. You can always find time to help and get involved, even if it's taking your email list and saying, hey, this is what we're doing in the community, and just send it out to everybody just to say, hey, this is what we're doing, this is what we stand for. You could add it to your website. If you go to our website, consumerenergysolutions.com, you'll find we have a section there just on community events and what we're doing in the community. We added a blog to that. There's just different things that you can actually do to help. Again, the senior goal is to help and to make the communities better, as a better place. This is where I live. I should take responsibility to make it a better place for myself, for my family, for the families of the people who work for me, and just generally in the community. So once you do that, it just makes common sense that ask yourself this question: who do you like to do business with? You like to do business with people that you have lots of affinity for, lots of reality with, and lots of good communication. So if you can increase those three things, people are going to do more business with you. And that is just the truth of the matter. And so by getting involved in different programs like these ones that I've described, it really, really, really helps you. And it's a simple mandate. Just find like-minded people. Those are the people you want to do business with anyways.
And let me ask you too. So there's like PR outside of your business. There's also PR inside of your business, right? Like, so for you, how has being more involved in the community, I guess, helped the morale of your staff and also the engagement of your staff?
Well, go back to those Tampa Bay or the Tampa Bay News, the winning those best workplaces. It has a huge impact on that. In fact, this year, 2018, the Tampa Bay Business Journal just did the top 100 workplaces, and they just ranked them, 1 through 100, and we were number 7. And so it helps build just the morale and to know that you're working towards more than just quote unquote a paycheck. You're actually contributing and helping. We've brought kids here, for example, that we've helped to address the staff. So imagine everybody hearing these kids, their stories, and thank you. So it actually is really, really well. One of the things that we're doing here in Florida, which I've implemented here recently, is we have 50-50 drawings at every staff meeting. So everybody throws in $1 and you get to buy tickets. And typically we have anywhere from $250 to $300 in the pot, right? So whoever wins gets half the money. The other half of the money goes to the Community Learning Center. So the staff, they love that. See, but again, they're contributing. But you get a winner, but you have people saying, then we tell them what we're like through the summer here, the money goes for a music program to help kids who are interested in music, so they can actually have a music teacher there and deliver that to them. So these types of things make the group increases the morale, it increases the purpose of the group, it increases the reach of the group, and you just feel more part of the group. And so I think those are tremendous tools for really building a good team, a strong team.
In the beginning here, we actually talked about some of the stats that your company's doing, which is incredible in your industry, because there are a lot of people in the energy industry, but you guys are, top of the top. Would you attribute, a lot of what you've done in the community to basically the rise of your company?
Well, one of the things that we hear from people all the time is, anymore today, a website is like a business card, right? Mm-hmm. So people check you out. Okay, let's look at their website. And so when they see that kind of stuff, it's like, oh yeah, these are the guys I want to do business with. Happens all the time. It actually happens quite a bit. So we have thousands and thousands of people visit our website. And it's a point of reality. It's a point of, because when you're talking about helping children, there are 80% of the people who agree like this, that that's a good thing. And then taking the time to do drug education, taking the time to actually create tutoring programs to help children it's very rewarding, and it really sends a message of who you are and what are you guys really all about. I do business with you. Okay, you make money off me. What do you do with that money? Right. So they can see the give back, and that's a huge thing. That is a huge, huge point of taking your game from whatever level it's at to the next level.
And I would just say to the people out there, if they haven't followed your company, Consumer Energy Solutions, on Facebook, I know you guys are not just talking the talk, but actually walking the walk and showing a lot of that and what you're doing in the community on those social accounts. So if you're looking for ideas, if you're having trouble implementing this, definitely check out what Pat's doing there. So Pat, I really, really appreciate all this amazing information that you gave us today. For the people watching, if they want to check out more of what you're doing, if they want to follow you, where's the best place to go?
I think, like you're saying, go to social media. The social media is Consumer Energy Solutions account, and you again, like you're saying, we take our good works and make them well known.
Absolutely. Well, this brings us to the close of another EMA fast tracking webinar with some incredible content today. And we're really grateful to Pat Clouden for spending his time with us. So everyone, I look forward to seeing you again in 2 weeks. And thank you so much for being with us today. And Pat, thank you so much for teaching today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.